All right, folks, welcome back to the show. I'm Craig Shelton. You are watching HMW Sports Talk Live right here on the Access TV channel. Man, we talk sports on this show every Saturday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We're always here for you. I don't think anyone talks sports in the manner that we do. We're just we're just those guys. We just get on how we get down. We're not the best. We just do it the way we do it. And I guarantee you, nobody does it the way we do. All right, so we're gonna jump back into it. My man Damian Jolivet in studio, Angelo Lawford from Houston Media Watch in studio. We talking a little Texans, kind of doing a little recap of the signings of the week. Nose tackle Jarrell Poe. Jarrell Poe was the first guy that was signed out of free agency this week for the Texans. 6'2", 231 pounds. Spent his first 3 NFL seasons in Kansas City played in 12 games, and 8 tackles, 1 sack up to this point. I view him as a rotation guy for the Texans. He probably does have that prototype 2 gap size, unlike what they did obviously with Wade Phillips in the 1 gap scheme. These guys under Romeo Crennel's scheme are going to be responsible. He's going to play a lot of zero technique and going to be responsible for both A gaps on the east side of the center. We know that he's prototypically got the size for it. Now you've got another Poe from Memphis who turned out to be probably one of the better defensive tackles in football in Kansas City. So we'll have to figure out, was it a fact that he was playing behind that Poe, that he just couldn't get on the field, or is this a kid that just hadn't figured out things and maybe Romeo sees something in him, or maybe he's a kid that's just going to be your 3rd guy, rotation guy, and he's getting the conversations he's getting now because he was just one of the first free agents that the Texans signed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at a very critical position of need in the defense overall, and particularly since you're changing the style of 3-4 defense that you played. I mean, Wade Phillips didn't run a 3-4 defense, man. That was a 4-3. It was a true hybrid,
Right.
but no doubt about it, a true hybrid. So we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on this kid. I can't wait to go out to training camp and lock in on the interior line drills. That's where you normally find me and Richard Walker at practice, locked in on the interior line drills. We don't do a lot of watching of the skill stuff, but that's just how we get on. Now, we got to talk about the Texans being able to trade Matt Sharp to Oakland. They traded Matt Sharp to Oakland for a 6th-round pick in this year's draft. Sharp, just a little history, folks, was acquired by the Texans via trade from Atlanta. Nobody gives a damn. It's just, we're really glad he's gone, and hope everything goes well for he and his family. If he put his house up on Section 8 or something, I might be interested. I don't know. It's pretty dangerous around the Sharp house. People running up on you in your driveway, threatening you because you throw pick sixes. I don't throw pick sixes. I probably wouldn't have nobody running up in my driveway if I was to move into Matt Sharp's house on Section 8. But we wish Matt Sharp the best. He threw for a lot of yards in this town, and I'm sure there are a lot of defensive backs on other teams that appreciated it very much as they went the other way with the damn ball. Matthew Sharp, no doubt about it. Let me ask you this question. Did the Texans tip their hand in any type of way? They trade Sharp, they sign Ryan Fitzpatrick. You think they tipping off their hand in regard to kind of how they're leaning for the draft, Angelo?
I honestly still don't really get a good sense of what they're going to do. I hope that they're going to draft a quarterback, but even then, you're still not too confident. You hear, especially when you hear like what happened this week in the various pro days from Bordeaux and Bridgewater. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on Johnny Manziel's pro day coming up here next week.
In regard to the Texans, you think if Johnny Manziel comes out and just has an awesome pro day, has a live arm, accurate, the whole 9 yards, do you think that means anything here?
Oh, I do, because maybe not even
first overall pick.
Maybe not necessarily for how the Texans assess.
No, but I'm
Johnny
only talking
Manziel.
about in regard to
But just in regards to the pick itself, maybe it becomes a more valuable trade commodity because of what he does at his pro day. You just never know what the rest of the league is going to see in Johnny Manziel, let alone the Texans.
See, I think in regard to the Texans, the only thing that, and I'm speculating, it's just speculating, I think the only thing that matters, the only way Johnny Manziel would really matter to the Texans, because I think drafting Johnny Manziel with the first overall pick would be irresponsible.
Oh, I
by the
agree. I
Texans.
agree.
But I think the only way it would matter here is if he were to fall. And if he were to fall, say the Texans draft Clowney first overall, and they have every intention of, with the second pick, drafting a outside edge rusher or a defensive tackle, okay? But Johnny Manziel slides into the second round. If you're the Texans and Johnny Manziel is sitting there at the first pick of the second round and you've already gotten to Jadeveon Clowney, I wouldn't take him because I have a third, fourth round grade on him. I know that's not popular, but that's what I have on any guy with Johnny Manziel's type of physical attributes and his lack of discipline. That's all I can give a quarterback of it. And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to be wrong about that.
All right.
See what I mean? I'm willing to be wrong. I'm not willing to be wrong about Johnny Manziel. If I'm a GM and I took him first overall,
Right.
I'm going to lose my job in a few years probably.
Right.
So I think the only way he matters to the Texans is if he would have an awesome pro day and then he was to fall. Because if I'm Rick Smith or Chandler Parsons or Wade Phillips, who's ever running the Texas draft war room, I would be, then I may put my gambling hat on a little bit. Now, wait a minute, I got Jadeveon Clowney. Maybe I can make another trade, get another second-round pick or third-round pick, burn this pick, and go and take this kid. You know what I mean? No, I wouldn't do it. But I just don't think, overall, my point is, I don't think there's a lot he can do that matters to the Texans one bit. If I got it right in my head, or if what I have in my head is correct in regard to how I view Johnny Manziel and how I view, from everything we hear about, do you think Bill Belichick would draft Johnny Manziel first overall?
Oh no.
Yeah,
No.
so I just don't think that a guy coming from Bill O'Brien's approach to the game, from what we've heard, I have to keep saying that because we don't know. Man, that's an irresponsible draft pick at first overall. It matters when you draft him first overall. It matters anytime you draft him in the first round. Quarterbacks are too hit and miss to draft Johnny Manziel, even in the first round to me, let alone the first overall pick. Matt Schaub coming back to the Texans. Oh, no. Matt Schaub going to the Raiders. A sixth-round draft pick coming back to the Texans. Tell you why it's important. I only got a couple moments here in this segment. Last year, the Texans had 4 sixth-round draft picks. They had a compensatory pick. They had 2 compensatory picks. One of them they used in the third round. They used 1 compensatory pick in the 6th round. They took tight end Ryan Griffin out of Connecticut. People were just, it was a big deal when the Texans re-signed Gary Graham. He's not even there. He's not even the right guy to get excited about.
Right. The primary target.
Listen, Ryan Griffin is 6'6", 254 pounds. That's the guy that's more likely to be your every down tight end
Right.
Correct.
than a one-dimensional, not a superb athlete, Graham. Graham is not he doesn't cause matchup issues. He's not fast enough or quick enough to cause matchup issues for linebackers, and he's not big enough to be a matchup issue for safeties. He's not special. He's not special in any type of way. He's a good route runner and pass catcher, but that's it. He's not special. You need a guy that can play tight end in the passing game and run game to where you're not tipping your hand every time that guy leaves the field. Ryan Griffin is your guy. They took defensive tackle Chris Jones, tried to get cute and hide him on the practice squad.
And he got picked up by
And
New England.
New England picked him up, and he played all year for New England
Right.
and was productive. 6th-round pick. Wide receiver Alan Bonner got injured for the Texans. They were very high on him. 6th round, David Quisenberry.
Right.
Swing tackle, swing defensive lineman. Some thinks he can play inside. I don't think he's big enough to play inside in what we believe O'Brien's offensive scheme will be. So don't sneeze at that 6th-round draft pick, because I guarantee you, Rick Smith, Chandler Parsons, and Wade Phillips, the 3 guys that make the Texans decisions, right now Chandler Parsons is not smiling. He's very serious about that 6th-round draft pick. The Texans did good, folks, to get anything from Matt Sharp. Had they got a 7th-round pick, my attitude would be a little bit different about it, because 7th round just has a it just has a trash component to it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, 7th round, right. 6th-round pick. I said David Quisenberry, Alan Bonner, Chris Jones, and Ryan Griffin. Three of these guys, with the exception of Bonner, because of injury, we didn't get to see much. But Quisenberry was injured, but there was good things for him in training camp and in preseason. Chris Jones can play in the NFL. The kid balled when he was at Bowling Green. He was a complete baller, plays with a high motor. And Ryan Griffin showed that he can play a little football last year as a rookie. So I'll take that. So I know this is going to be tough for some of you people, but give Rick Smith a little credit. He may have done a good thing. Still got to get the draft pick right, but he may have done a good thing in getting something from Matt Sharp. Got a 6th-round pick, man, from Matt Sharp, and the Texans are going to take on all of that cap hit this year, next year. No Sharp cap hit issues. You can concentrate on J.J. Watt. You can concentrate on my man Damien's favorite cornerback, Kareem Jackson. The Texans can work it a little bit with the money. Go on out there, Texans. Get on out there and twerk it like Miley Cyrus. You know what to do. Just don't let nobody burn up your tour bus like they did Miley Cyrus. All right, what we looking like? How much time we got?
Take us out.
We good? All right, roll on out? All right, so we go, I want to look at one other quick thing here. How much time do I have?
Take us out. You take it out whenever you want.
They telling me that we can just take it all the way out?
Take it out.
All right, we'll take it all the way out.
Sure. Take it all the way.
Take it all the way out. You guys still are not telling me how much damn time I have before I take it out. I'm asking my directors and producers
9 minutes total.
how much time I got. And they tell, just take it out. Take out what? The garbage? The chicken? What? All right, guys, we keep it rolling, man. HMW, I told y'all, nobody quite does it like we do it. We literally talk to the production team as we're doing the show. Kind of Saturday Night Live-ish, if you ask me. All right. We can't talk about the Texans trading Matt Sharp without talking about the Texans signing Ryan Fitzpatrick. The Texans bring in an Ivy League guy, and I'm going to tell you guys a story. Some of you guys may remember this. Some of y'all might not be old enough to remember this, but I don't mind dating myself. Not like taking myself out on a date, even though I nearly did when I found out the Texans traded Matt Sharp. I almost took myself out and splurged on myself, bought myself some fried chicken with extra biscuit, you know what I'm saying, and a pepper. You know, I almost did that because I was really, really having a moment. I wanted to touch myself. You know, I was like really excited. But I'm a Christian, and I just said I ain't gonna do that because the Lord ain't gonna love me. But the Texans signed veteran quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, 6'2", 225 pounds guy to a 2-year, $7.5 million contract. I'm okay with that. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a serviceable backup quarterback. If Ryan Fitzpatrick is your backup quarterback and you're grooming a younger quarterback, I think you're in pretty good shape. If Ryan Fitzpatrick is asked to be your starter for a prolonged period of time, your first mind will say you're in trouble. You may be in trouble. If I had to bet, I would say you probably are in trouble. But Ryan Fitzpatrick has been able to put together some strings of games in his career. And it's kind of like when you buy a car and they sell you that extended warranty. When they sell you an extended warranty on a car, you know what you're betting? You're gambling that your car is going to break within the parameters of that time period that you have that warranty. If you go and do some consumer research, you'll find out you should never buy extended warranties on cars. It's a ploy.
Right.
You're being tricked. So you don't know with Ryan Fitzpatrick. You may be being tricked, or you may get lucky like Buffalo did when he earned his contract there. Put a good group of games together, had a good season. They paid him. The Ivy League thing is going to be played up quite a bit. He's a smart guy, blah, 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 blah. I remember Yates High School had a really awesome football team one year that went to State. And one of the games that they had to play was against Jesse H. Jones High School. That particular Jones High School team was quarterbacked by, they had the quarterback, it was some twins, a quarterback, Dennis and Danny. I think Dennis was the quarterback, and I think Danny was the quarterback, and maybe Dennis was a receiver or something. Anyway, Jones High School has a Vanguard program back in those days. My sister was a student in the Jones High School. We was on the Sterling High School. She was a student in the Jones Vanguard program, so she was able to go out of our zone and go to school at Jones, to where she graduated top of her class and went on to Princeton and graduated from Princeton. I went on to Sterling High School, flunked out, tried to go to Jones, kicked my ass out because I wasn't smart enough to be in the zone in the Ivy League program. That's a totally different story. We'll talk about it on another show. But I remember the Jones kids making a huge mistake before their big game with Yates, that's located in 3rd Ward, right across the street from the CUNY homes, probably where a couple of y'all baby mamas still live today. So what happens is these Jones kids are being interviewed, and the media person who's interviewing them makes a comment in regard to how smart they were. Now, rather than a very smart Haskins kid saying, well, you know, we're here to play football, and we respect Yates, and football games are won on the football field, not in the classroom, or whatever you want to say, they took the road of saying, yeah, well, and I'm paraphrasing, yeah, we pretty much, you know, we real smart kids, and, you know, we're going to handle our business, you know. Well, of course, that didn't play well. Yates beat the hell out of Jones, folks. That's the point I'm getting to. I don't care how smart you are. It helps to be smart in football, but you need to be just really good at football. I've known some of the dumbest cats that could really play football well. I tore my knee up at Sterling High School because my fullback was dumb. We was in a pro-style set in the backfield, which is a split-back set. You don't see a lot of split-back sets nowadays. And we were running a dive play, 23 dive, which meant all I had to do was run between what? The guard and the tackle, right?
Right.
Being that it was a dive play, my fullback, who was split out, well, spread in the backfield, should have done anything but what? Lead me through the 3-hole on a blast play, correct?
Correct.
Because it was a what? Dive play. My really not smart fullback crossed over in front of me. I didn't expect him to be there. And my foot was facing my butt at the end of the play, as my knee did things that a knee was not designed to do. So it's not about being the smartest guy when you walk out on that football field. You better be a little nasty, but more than anything, you better be really, really good. Ryan Fitzpatrick's Harvard education has done nothing for him in the NFL but make him
Mediocre.
Now, doesn't mean he can't be an awesome mentor for a young quarterback. You agree?
Correct. And the one thing, and this is what I say as far as them drafting a quarterback. One guy who's sitting there that's probably going to be a 3rd, 4th rounder, possibly a 5th rounder due to the ACL surgery, Zach Mettenberger. He ran a pro-style offense in the NFL underneath Cam Cameron at LSU. I say it all the time. Watch out for that guy. Even though he has 2 left feet like Peyton Manning, but you know Bill O'Brien is
got a rocket arm.
He has a rocket arm. Can make every single throw. Stands tall in the pocket. But watch Bill O'Brien build up that offensive line, and he stays protected.
The move, I will say, does kind of correlate with what we have heard about Bill O'Brien so far, though, cerebral sort of mentality perspective. So I think, considering we are getting a good gauge on these small moves, these tangible moves, to really get a gauge, and maybe what we've heard is relatively accurate. So I think that's gonna, when it comes time to actually make this draft pick, whether you believe it's gonna be Bortles or Bridgewater, kind of maybe gives you a gauge into who might be the more cerebral, who might be the more sponge-like quarterback.
All right, we got 10 seconds, real quick. Who's gonna win? Who's winning March Madness? Who's gonna walk away champion?
Underdog, sort of underdog. Wichita State.
Louisville. We'll catch you guys next week right here on HMW Sports Talk Live.